Founded in 1971, Close-Up is a nonprofit that partners with schools across the country to design challenging and hands-on programs in Washington, D.C. Using the nation's capital as a living classroom, our instructors work with students to relate each site, speaker, and institution to a critical question for a historical theme. Our program instructors just don't bring the students to see the monuments, they actually bring the monuments to life for our students.
What I like about Close-Up most is that the instructors aren't tour guides, they're actually instructors.
Yes, Heather. Okay, the KKK. Let's take 2 steps forward.
Here is one example where the program instructor challenges the students to earn their way up the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
Bus boycotts. You can take 2 steps forward for the bus boycott.
Just sit-ins.
Sit-ins at the south. Skip the sit-ins. Let's do another 2 for sit-ins. So right now we're standing around the actual spot where Martin Luther King gave his speech on August 28th in 1963. And if you turn around and you look out in front of you, you can picture this mall. And it was a hot day, and there were over 300,000 people here. And Martin Luther King spoke.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will
one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
That's what I liked about Close-Up, that it's more than just a field trip. You're seeing all of these sites, but it's a workshop as well. You're debating the issues, you're tying it into current events.
In addition to exploring key monuments, Close-Up students have a chance to participate in debates with Washington policymakers. Here is a clip from our signature domestic issues debate.
The American dream is the ability to have the freedom to pursue success. It's the ability to excel based on your own merits and your own effort, and not on the government's effort.
My name's Hunter, and I'm from Newton. I want to know what your opinions are and how you would deal with domestic poverty.
I am really glad you asked that question, and I'm glad the conservative went first. It's very, very rare you can ever hear a conservative say the word poverty. Listen, it's virtually unheard of. So I'm really glad you asked that question. Did you hear any answers? Because I didn't.
I'm Christopher, and I'm from Ohio, and I want to hear from the liberal perspective. Why do you agree with the health care? How can we spend more money and get out of the debt we're in? We're in a $12.5 trillion debt, and we're just going to keep spending and spending.
Close-Up does an excellent job of connecting kids to DC and all that's going on inside the Beltway. That's one of the things that makes Close-Up such a powerful program. It makes it so close to our hearts as educators.
Helping students to understand how Capitol Hill works is another important part of Close-Up. Instructors use a mock Congress activity to introduce the legislative process. Once students have an understanding of key issues, they have an opportunity to visit Capitol Hill, participate in a walking workshop, and meet with their congressional offices.
I want to open it up a little bit, and we're going to continue our conversation about some of the roles and responsibilities of different branches of government. So we're talking about the legislative branch now. We're talking about, remember, a bicameral legislative body, the House and the Senate. And I want to open up to you guys. Where do members of Congress, where does senators and representatives, where do their powers come from?
The Constitution describes the powers the legislative branch has.
What are some of the powers and responsibilities that the legislative branch has?
They declare war.
Congress has the responsibility to declare treaties with other countries.
They decide how we spend our tax dollars and they collect them.
What is the value of debate? Do you believe debate is a legitimate form of give and take based on facts, or is it just showboating?
Debate is a very important part of our function here because it gives me the opportunity to better understand the viewpoint of somebody maybe from Galveston, Texas, or from the Hurricane Katrina area. We don't have hurricanes, so I don't really understand what a hurricane is like and how devastating it is to a family. But then they don't necessarily have the drought situation in a rainy area that we would have. And so I have to make my best pitch of why I think there needs to be drought funding. They make their best pitch of why they think there needs to be hurricane relief funding, and the debate begins because you have only a limited amount of money.
By taking an in-depth look at democracy in action, we hope that students return to the classroom with a greater understanding of our nation's history and the ability to think critically about how political institutions work and how public policy is made.
I encourage students all across our country to get involved in Close-Up, and involved in America.